Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camellia Crafts Designs. Welcome and welcome back. I'm here today with some more pockets for the Dee Dee Farago challenge. I'm still using up my 12x12s. This one's a little different this week in that we're going to be cutting up the piece of 12x12 paper and making pockets. Now these, as you can see, I've sewn around them. You don't have to, I just did. I've not decorated them though. And this started out as a sheet of 12x12 and I've just cut it into 3 strips which are 4 inches wide, and I've made a different type of pocket with each 4-inch strip. So I'll crack on and show you how I'm going to slice and dice my paper. Right, I've chosen a sheet of the Tim Holtz wallflower for this one. I'm not so keen on the back of this one. There's nothing wrong with it, it's quite nice. I just don't like that repeating geometric pattern. I know there's some of it on front, it's fine, there's a bit of it on front, it's not the whole page. So I'm going to start by chopping this one up. You can use your papers that are more directional for these kinds of pockets. Right, so each strip is going to be 4 inches, so I'm going to start by cutting it lengthways like that. I always like to turn it round to cut the other side because I like to start with the factory cut side to measure from. We've got a tiny little bit of a crease on the corner of that, not a problem, it will get covered up. So there we have our 3 pieces. I'm going to get rid of this big chompy chopper now and get my little one out for doing the other cuts. It only measures up to 6 inches, so, and obviously you can't cut a full 12x12 sheet. So now I'm going to cut 2 of these in half. So I'm going to have a quick look and decide what patterns I want where. If I bring my first 2 in, I'll show you on this lighter paper because you can see it much better. The big 6x6 piece, you don't see much of it because it gets covered up. So I'm going to use that, I think, for this one. So that's going to be the base piece for that pocket. And I think I will use... Oh, I put that one upside down. I think I'm going to use that one for my sideway pocket. Yeah? So we'll put that to one side. That's this pocket. I don't know why I call it my sideway pocket. So we'll put that one to one side, and then I'm going to use this one for... What's the pocket? Oh, that didn't take long, did it? To get... Where's it gone? I'm counting pockets. It's there, it's there. And I've got another one in my hand. What am I like? Oh, Julie. I think I'm going to use that as the back piece because we'll see the top of the flowers. But I want to somehow get that yellow flower on. I think that will then go perfectly as that pocket, so we'll see the flower. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'll chop this one up first. So I'm going to start by cutting it in half again. So it's going to be 6x6. That's going to be my back piece. I'm going to cut this one into a piece that's 4x4 and 4x2, so I'll measure it at 4 inches, and you'll see what I mean now, how I wanted to get that. Can you see? And then that will be my bottom pocket. Yeah, so that's one, so that's that one. Yep. So now I'm going to cut this one into my sideways pocket. So I'm going to start again by cutting it in half at 6 inches. Yeah, so that's a more plain piece, and I'm going to use that as my side pocket, and then I'm going to cut this one into, I can't remember the size I did this at, I'll just have to measure it. It wasn't 4 inch and 2 inch, this one, I don't think. No, I did this one at 2.5 inches and 1.5. Yeah. So let's see which bit I want to cut. Yeah, that's going to be my 2.5. So I'll get that big R on. And then that one's going to go there. that will go there. Can you see now? You'll see it much better when I've inked the edges as well. So that's that piece. Now this other one is going to be this pocket. I'll show you the two different ones I made from the different design papers. Can you see that one? I've put pockets, grab something to stick in pocket on the side, and there I've put the pockets on the bottom. It will go in. Yeah. So I'm going to start again by cutting it. I'm going to cut these pockets off. Now on that one I made my pockets, well, they were 1.5 inches, yeah, and they were 2 inches. So you can alter the dimensions of this one. So which ones am I going to have as my pockets? I could cut one from that end and one from that end, or 2 from each end. I'm just thinking how this piece of paper is going to look. Because of the direction of this paper, I'm going to make this one with the pockets at the bottom. Otherwise, when I folded that over, I'd have an upside down flower, and I don't want that. So it's going to have the pockets at the bottom. So I'm going to cut my pockets at, what did I say again? 2 inches. So I'm going to no, I'm going to cut 2 inches. I think I'm going to do it off this bit. Yeah, I'm going to make the flowery ones my pockets. So I'll first cut it at 4, because that will get me my 2 pockets. And then I'll cut that one in half again at 2. There we go. So the other thing left to do with this is to fold it in half. I didn't use my scoreboard because it might have not made it exact. So grab the bone folder. We ended up with a flower on the crease anyway, didn't we? So I then need to use this one. I don't know which way around. Yeah, that way is going to be a pocket, and that way is going to be a pocket. Yeah. So I'm going to come in and ink the edges, because once the edges are inked, it's much easier to see what they're going to look like. Where's my dauber gone? I bet I've knocked my dauber off my desk, because I'm full of tricks like that. So I'm going to get my granny grabber to pick my dauber up, because it's, there you go. Ta-da. Oh, comes in right handy, that granny grabber. Right. Yeah, I'm just going to ink these edges. Because what's that saying that Fiona says? If you ink it, no, if you cut it, ink it. You don't have to cut it because you inked it. No, it happens the other way around. You could if you've got a paper that you like both sides of. In fact, shall we do it? Shall we turn that like that? And do it like that? No, I don't want to. I don't want to. You could put extra pockets in there. It's just a start, this, isn't it? Really. And again, I'm still on this, get some 12x12s used up. I've got more 12x12s than I know what to do with. When I used to make mini albums, they used to be more of a standard size. You'd have like a 6x4 size mini album, so that's perfect starting using 12x12 sheets, isn't it? But the junk journals tend to be, well, you can make them any size you want, but I don't know, I tend to make A5 ones, which when you've then cut your papers up for pages, you end up with lots of strips, and I want to avoid that. I've got a box full of strips of 12x12 papers. I want to try and use them in their entirety. And it's going to be good, this, because I will then have a book full of pockets I've made me with 12x12s. I'm not going to ink inside. Right, yeah, I want that ticket showing at the top. So I'm going to make that pocket like that. Then turn it over and make that pocket like that. Yeah, I'm going to glue it. I don't know if I'm going to sew this yet. I don't know. It's a big decision that. I don't think I'm ready for it. So that's going to be the top. So I want to ink those 3 edges. Ink, glue. Oh, it's one of them days. I don't know the difference between ink and glue. I get words swapped around that often. My kids know what I'm on about, even though I make no sense to other people. I'll be like, yeah, do you want a cup of tea? Then I'll be like, do you want milk in it? And they know I mean, do you want sugar in it? Because we know they want milk in it. But sometimes they have sugar and sometimes they don't. Right, you might find your pocket here might hang off the edge a little bit. That's not because you've measured incorrectly. That's just because, can you see the crease is taking up some of your 6-inch length, your 8-inch length. So if they hang off, just trim them. So I had to trim my others, and I'm going to have to trim these. I'll have it that way. And as much as we try, we're never going to be 100% exact when we cut things. You'll have 1/2 millimetre here, 1 millimetre there. So if that happens to you, don't think you've done something wrong, because you haven't. So when you stick this pocket on, make sure it's not hanging over at the creased edge, because it's much more difficult to trim that off. Can you see? It's only slightly, but that would annoy me. So I'm going to have to trim it off. I just am. So grab my little trimmer. If you're confident, do it with scissors. I'm not, so I'm not gonna. There we go. So that's your first pocket. Right, let's move on to this one now. That's your side one, sideways one. Why am I videoing today when I can't speak? I don't know. Now this one I'm going to ink again before I stick it together. I'm not going to ink all the way around because I've just wasted my time on that last one inking bits of paper that are going to get covered up. Because I'm talking. I can't think and talk. That's like, ooh, that's multitasking for me, that, thinking and talking. And is it just me? Do you lose the ability to multitask as you get older? Does that ability diminish? Because it seems to with me. I often say I left a lot of my... Yeah, I left... When I had my kids, I had twins, and I decided, yeah, it was a good idea to have twins at 37. Not that it just happens, doesn't it? You can't choose or not to have twins, can you? Well, this one does what inking all the way around. But yeah, I think I left a lot of my energy in maternity ward. And a lot of my brain cells. I've gone from... Oh, I have mentioned before, I try not to go on about it too much, but before I had my kids, I were a driving instructor. And I'd have like 40... up to 40 pupils a week, and I didn't have to make extremely detailed notes because I knew I could remember everything they had done. And it was like, yeah, I used to make some notes, but they didn't have to be that detailed because I remembered. I can remember the names of 40 people, what they did, where we went, and where to pick them up from without writing it down. I couldn't do that now. If you gave me 5 people to remember what they'd done a week ago, where they lived, what the name were, my brain would explode. So I don't know if that's just me or if that's a common thing. I mean, I'm sure there are other women who have much more responsible jobs than teaching someone to drive after they've had children, but I did always plan to go back to it, and it's not happened. Financially, it wouldn't be happening because cars are not cheap. The roads in this country are horrendous. And yeah, I think my back and neck have had enough of doing emergency stops and twisting round to see through the back window when your pupils are reversing round corners. Yeah, driving tip for all women there. When you're going backwards, look where you're going. It really is that simple. Turn around, look where you're going. I see so many people driving, reversing, and they're trying to do it just using mirrors. That's why you crash into things, people. And I don't know what it is, but men tend to, it seems to just be obvious to men to turn around and look where you're going, whereas women try and use mirrors. I've no idea what that is. Well, in my experience of teaching people to drive. Right, that's that one done. I'll stop waffling now. You don't want a driving lesson, do you? Right, and this is the last one. So let's get inking again. I'm sorry if this video has been an awful lot of inking, but you really have to ink those edges to see the full effect. It's really hard to even see where the pockets are before you've done the inking, but you can see them now. So yeah, it's not rocket science, this one today. It's just, yeah, using up your 12x12s, making some useful pockets. I mean, you can come in and decorate these anywhere you like. I tend to make things like this and I don't decorate them until I'm putting them in an album, because I'm not quite sure what the overall theme will be. Yeah, it could be botanical. Botanical covers everything, doesn't it? Stick a flower on it, it's botanical. Stick a leaf on it, it's botanical. But you don't know your colour scheme, do you? I do a lot of botanical and butterflies together. I like to stick roses in. I love roses. So yeah, I've done quite a few pinky and red rose themed journals. I don't think this Tim Holtz paper lends itself to pink roses. It lends itself to more grungy things, doesn't it? Your more greens, and I think the yellows go lovely with it. And this new, well, it's not new anymore, craze of sticking labels and everything. It's just so perfect, isn't it? Right. I'm going to come in and glue these. But that really is basically it. Like I say, you don't have to sew them, but you can. Again, I think sometimes that may depend on the kind of album you're going to put it in. Oh, I forgot to stick the first one down, didn't I? It don't matter, it's not. Put that pocket on there and now I'll just stick that one to there. I think these would look lovely in some kind of folio. Oh, I might give a folio a whirl with it. I've not done one with Tim Holtz paper. I know Tania at Tatty Treasures does some lovely ones with Tim Holtz. I did that file folder one, how she'd done it. Although I chose one that she'd not used Tim Holtz paper for when she made it. You can't go wrong with Tim. Right, so there we have it. I quite like that in the Tim Holtz. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, but yeah, that's how it's gone. And that's lovely. Oh, I think that would look really nice with some of these. I've been making some embellishments from little wooden lollipop sticks. I think I'll do a video on those. They're really handy. I think just put a hole in there and have one dangling. That'd look lovely. Right, so that's it. I told you that we're going to be quick and simple today. It could not be any more simple. So you could, let me get my book out before we go. Have I got it to hand? No, I haven't got it to hand. I've been using it downstairs. So I'll just grab any old book. Oh, any old book, look at this. Oh, my new sticker book. If anyone wants to see it, I'll do a flip through. But I'm just using it to show what you could use these pockets for now. Now these, with the pockets on the side, you could just pin them or clip them, or you could glue them. If you put that at the bottom of a page, like so. That's it. Yep, you could glue it along the bottom edge, and you could give yourself another pocket there. So you've got one there, and then the same again at the other side of the page. Or the one where I've put the pockets on the bottom, that could be glued or it could be clipped. So you'd have a pocket there. You could glue the side and you could have a tuck there, or you could glue the side and that and have a tuck there, or you could put it like that with a pocket. There's so many different ways you can stick these in. Yeah, the other ones, again, that, depending on which way you've got your paper running, it could go at the bottom, make an extra pocket, so you've got 3 altogether. You could glue it like that. You could leave it open whichever side you want to add another tuck, or again you could just clip it loosely into your album. I tend to clip a lot of things in loosely, so because I do sell a lot of my albums, when people buy them they can leave them loose, they can take them out and put them in another project, or they can think, yeah, I like that there, let's make that permanent and pop some glue on. So there you have it, 3 different pockets from one 12x12 sheet, and as you can see I've gone a little bit mad making loads of them. So I hope you found that useful, hope you enjoyed it. You're welcome for the driving lesson. I do waffle, don't I? And if you want to see more pockets, you'll see I've put the hashtag 2021 TCTC, which stands for the Colossal Tome of Concepts. If you click on that hashtag, it will link you to lots of other videos done by lots of other amazing ladies, one of which is Gail Tuttle. She is brilliant. Yeah, I love her pockets. So pop along and see those, and if you feel like it, join in. Just put the hashtag 2021 TCTC if you're making them and putting them on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere else. And then Dee Dee, who has organised the challenge, will be able to find you and see them. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.